too strong. And talking of the Canes, they had to come back too in the second half. Sunwolves, I thought, go the Sunwolves, because nothing wrong with them going for an underdog team there. They were going hard out. But obviously, Nani Lamapi and a couple of the others got through there, and the Canes come away with the points in 29-23.
Yeah, great game from the that was a game to watch, really, and that's a true underdog, isn't it? The Sunwolves, that's a true underdog. So watching them, really step up over the Hurricanes, it was great to see. I think it was, I can't even remember what the score was. I can't even remember what the halftime score was, but great stuff. Great comeback too. From, of course, Ben Lamb, he scored a couple of tries. But who was that guy? Samisi Masarewa from the Sunwolves. Boy, he's a bit of an excitement machine, and it'll be interesting to see what a lot of those players from the Sunwolves are going to do at the end of this season. Be interesting to see, I think, a number of teams that are remaining in the competition might be looking at picking up a couple of those Sunwolves players, Rino?
Yeah, we'll do, mate. I suppose a lot of them will be like to represent Japan. This is their final year in this actual competition before they drop down to the next tier competition. But a lot of them would love to represent. Obviously, now having citizenship with some of the clubs over there, Japan at the World Cup, and being hosted obviously over there as well. So that'll be some of the eye for some of them. Look, they've got the Highlanders next week, and I wouldn't write the Sunwolves off against the Highlanders. So, they're not a bad little team. They've seen to come their way through, and seen it got better since they found out they're going to get the boot out of the competition.
Boy, have they played out of their skins, especially of late. It's been really quite a season for the Sunwolves this season, hasn't it?
It has, and I think Masho, one of the better ones. They've been close or thereabouts, and to go up against the Hurricanes and just to be dominant of the game for the majority, and just to let it come on through was a bit disappointing for the coaches and staff and the players, because they really had their game in the bag. Just remind me of that Dumb Warriors Root Rabbits game last week. Yeah. But take nothing away from the Sunwolves. Hurricanes just, as they say, used the get out of jail card.
Yes, they did. They certainly did, because I think it was about 65 minutes that the Sunwolves pretty much led that entire game. There was certainly a get out of free card from the Hurricanes. Now, Ra, your Highlanders up against the Blues, bro. It's going to be a tough one, eh?
Well, it is, Casey, and they must-win games from here on in, and my Otago boys, they've really got to pull finger in this match, because the Blues, I'll tell you, they're running semi-hot at the moment, and they've got everything to play for, with a few new young players and under Leon McDonald. So I think the Aucklanders are going to come out firing, and they could pretty well encapsulate this game and take away a win. But as always, I'm going to go for the Landers. I mean, you've got to show favour towards the team that you're supporting, and you may think they're going to sort of be on the end of the loss. Could go either way. It's the normal sort of run-of-the-mill kind of chess. It's if either team plays a solid, hard-running game and keeps their defence up, I think any one of them could take away this match. But I hate to say it, but I think the Blues may come away with a victory.
Well, what's interesting is that just of late, they have run a little bit hot, the Blues, haven't they, Reno? And as it goes, they're in the standings. The Blues are out in front of the Chiefs and the Highlanders. Both of your teams occupying the bottom rung there, eh, Ra?
Not a good season, Keithy, and the writing could well be on the wall at this early stage. But hey, both sides are going to sort of keep the good fight up. But look, all the best for the Blues. I mean, they've had a few shocking seasons, so it's good for their fans' sake, and being the biggest franchise probably in Aotearoa that they are starting to fire, and all the best for them.
What do you reckon about the Blues there, Reno?
Highlanders are going to run all over them, mate. Down at home, the Scarfies will jump up and cheer them on Easter weekend, and the Highlanders will blow the Blues off the park. Yeah, and then they'll have the bye next week, and then head over to play the Brumbies.
Right.
And the wheels will fall off there as well.
Probably.
So I reckon the wheels are going to slowly fall off the Blues.
Yeah.
They've lived up to a lot. Ra's right. They've done a lot better than they have in the previous years.
Yeah.
I reckon you might just see the wheels falter because one of these strike key players is going to be stepping down, having his mandatory step down from the wing. So, yeah, a few of the players will be. It's going to be hard for the Blues. They really need those early wins in the season because from here onwards, it's over half of the competition this weekend.
Yes.
This is where the All Black players who are in that training squad they selected last week had the opportunity to stand down a couple of games. So, I just feel sorry for the Blues. They've done really well. But the Highlanders, mate, the old Bravehearts will steam over them. There you go.
Oh, okay. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff.
I might be talking their brown stuff.
There's plenty of it going around, mate. Well, your Crusaders, they take on the Lions next week, next Friday. So, as tough as the game against the Chiefs was for the Lions, it's not going to get much easier, is it, against the Crusaders, man?
Well, in saying that, you would think so. You just don't know. I reckon the Lions will come and play. They'll be leading most of their game, but the Crusaders, as they did in the previous week, will kickstart in that second half and then blitz them off the park. I reckon we'll see an exact repeat. Okay. I reckon the Lions will come to play. I don't know. You just don't know, eh?
Yeah, just don't know. It is going to be difficult. Now, next weekend, your Highlanders go up against the Sunwolves there, How do you reckon that one's going to go?
Well, you never know. I mean, the Highlanders, the Sunwolves, they've got everything to play for. As we know, they're not going to be around from next season, I think it is. But, so I think the remainder of their games, they're going to try and go out and, if nothing else, win it for themselves and their multitude of fans back there in Japan. But, I do want my Highlanders to take a win, but not a big win. But, surprisingly, I've always been a big fan of the underdogs, and in this situation, I suppose, I don't know. I might put my money on the Sunwolves. All power to them. We'll probably never see them again in another New Zealand competition. They may go to that second tier one over in Australia or something. But I don't know. Maybe I'll back them this time around, Keithy.
Next Saturday, also your Chiefs are up against my Hurricanes, of course, that game in Wellington. It's got to be because to be honest, that's another must-win for the. Well, it's another must-win for the Chiefs, but it's starting to look, at least to me, like it's not going to happen win. What do you reckon, Ra?
Well, a man of a bit of faith here in your Wellington.
In my team, yes.
But so you should be, because it is a home game for them. But I find that's when my Chiefs tend to sort of pull that proverbial rabbit out of the hat, when people least expect it and when their backs are truly up against the wall, and it will be down there in the stadium. But, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I think they can pull a win away from the Canes. It'll have to be a hard-fought one, though, because, your side's not going to go down without a fight, and there's nothing else for their fans. So, I think that could well be the match of the round. It's going to be a close game either way.
What's going to be interesting, Reno, of course, is the upcoming, because we've got the games coming up, very, very shortly. We've got the, is it shortly? We've got the, what's that window? The international window opening up. And, it'll be interesting to see, who's going to be selected and where, and the way things are going. I think, Richie Mo'unga might just have it to be the start of the way things are looking, eh? I mean, it'll be interesting to see who's going to get selected for what, eh? What do you reckon, Reno?
Yeah, it will be. I'm guessing Hanson and the selectors will go probably a second-tier type of team. They will get some of those international games because the focus is on Japan. And look, he's pretty well gutted. He's lost Damian McKenzie, gone, and that was one of the linchpins, the key marquee players for the team to come off the bench, and he's just an excitement machine, and that's gone from him. So, yeah, I suppose he's in two frames of mind now, how he's going to select a team. Does he really want to focus? I suppose as a coach, you want to win everything because it's his last year as well. So who knows? Does he risk playing Bodie Barrett or does he let Richie Mo'unga play? And there's all these areas. Look, Brodie Retallick got injured last week and he's not in the right space at the moment, so he wasn't playing last night. It is one of those risk things. I don't know. I would guess focus on the World Cup. Give some of these other guys a run. Look at Matanonu outside Richie Mo'unga. Nothing wrong with that combination in the back line. That's a strong combination. And you can look at another centre, maybe Jack Goodhue or someone. Still got some strong selections to go through. So, I'm suggesting Emotion is going to go somewhere like that, mate, and take the main bunch of the guys for the World Cup. You know, a lot of pressure on Sam Cane when you look at Ardie Savea playing. Does he play Ardie and look at someone else? Maybe that young kid from Auckland, the ginger head kid. He might get a bit of a run in this series. So, it does open it up to a lot of players to have a bit of a shot in the All Black jersey, and obviously the big pitch is September, November.
Yeah, absolutely. What are your thoughts on how the All Blacks might be shaping up to be come the international window there?
Yeah, well, it'll be good for him to play some of those next tier players coming up because he really knows who the top starting lineup will be for most of those World Cup games. So if I was on issues, I'd be playing the ones just the next tier down, just to blood them, just to give them a bit more of that experience. So you've always got backups, especially come the World Cup. That's when you need some gun reserves. In your team. So, I think he may go for that approach. And in doing that, you don't burn out your top players that actually need them. So you start running the ones that are coming up just underneath it. A player who's probably a long shot that I've heard sort of mutterings about, but probably no guarantees, is our man from the Blues, or Teddy Black. Because as we know, it's a key pivotal position, that first five spot, and you pretty much call the shots in footy nowadays from there. And I like the way that Black's been playing behind this resurgent Blues team. So he's a long shot, I suppose, but would be good. He's still young. He could go a couple of World Cups coming up. So would be good to take players like that. But no, I think he's going to stay with the tried and trusted. Who wouldn't?
Is Ma Nonu going to be wearing a black jersey this year?
Well, I made comments on social media that, I got a lot of respect for Ma. He's done there. He's paid his dues. But I think, even though he's playing sort of really, really good rugby now this season, I don't know if they should take the chance taking him, only if they need to, only if injury sort of, rule out a couple of other key players in the back line. But, Ma has been there in a few World Cups and he's sort of done his dash and, on occasion he can be quite, and I'm going to say it, he can be quite a mangere lazy player. I'm not saying he's not a good player. He is when he's on, but he can be a little bit sort of a bit lackluster, a bit sort of easy come, easy go. I think maybe he's changed. He could have changed because he's a lot older now. Yes. He's been out there and if given another shot at an AB jersey, he may actually sort of really sort of come to life and play good rugby, but that's yet to be seen. And me personally, I don't know if we should take a chance on that myself.
What do you reckon, Rino?
Yeah, it will be interesting. I don't think he'll get a black jersey, mate.
Yeah, I agree.
He's done his time, and remember him for those World Cups. Yes, he is playing some good rugby for the Blues, and he's on form. But when you got to step up to the black jersey, it's interesting to see what happens. Mind you, he was like that at the Canes when he played. He didn't go that flash in the Canes jersey, but when he put that bloody black jersey on, man, he was on fire.
Yeah.
So you just don't know where he's at. What is he, 37 at this stage? It's not impossible. It wouldn't be a surprise to many if he did get a black jersey, but no, I'd rather see them work and persevere with someone who's been playing the Super Rugby game and coming on through and, build.
I got to say, I agree with you, Ra. I agree with you. He'll only get a black jersey if there's a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
That's what I reckon. If there's a lot of injuries, That's the only way.
Reen summed it up quite well when he said, when he played club thing rugby, he was, not that great when he sort of played rep style, but he turned it on, and that's that inconsistency that normally brings.
Yep.
He may have learned